For Arkansas, this is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon. This afternoon, as you can see, you can hear, and hopefully you can also smell, we're live from Blue Ember Smokehouse here in Rogers once again at Pleasant Grove Road, 1723 Pleasant Grove Road to be exact. And fellas, we were here a few weeks ago. It's always good to see you live and in person, but man, it's always better when we can see you live and in person, surrounded by the great smells of some amazing barbecue of Blue Ember.
Yeah, man. I mean, the smell of smoked meats, it's kind of my paradise, you know? I love it here. This place is awesome. And, you know, we talked about it the last time that we came out here. They open up at 10:45, and Andrew and I pulled up probably 10 minutes before that, and there was already a line of people out there. It's like breakfast barbecue, brunch barbecue. Sure, why not? And I get it because it's really good out here. And, yeah, the vibes are high today, man. You know, we got intern Cameron and intern Gigi here today. This is like the full group. Big Salty Hog is here from the chat hanging out. So this is good, man. I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
Yeah, Big Salty Hog is here, which is good. I always appreciate when people introduce themselves as their username. I know it's a little bit weird to do it, but it's like it really does help because like I know exactly who he was whenever he said that. But yeah, they got a nice little crowd here at Blue Ember. Always, the bye week is going as well as a 2-7 bye week can go. Like, I don't know if we've ever had a bye week where we've just had good vibes like this. Helps when we have a basketball team playing the way that this basketball team's playing. But, yeah, it's great here at Blue Ember. I always like when we're in person because people can tell that we're actual humans, you know?
Yeah, that we are real people that do real things, and we're not as socially awkward as, say, other counterparts in the media. So we are going to be live from Blue Ember here in Rogers every first Wednesday of the month. So if you're just sitting there and you're looking at your Google calendars or whatever, just go ahead and put in, hey, the fellas are going to be at Blue Ember here in Rogers every first Wednesday of the month. And we can't wait to chat out and tell you all the great things that they have going on. But as a reminder, folks, they do catering for all different types of events, weddings, business meetings, all that great stuff. They also have a private room. I didn't realize that they have the setup for a private room here at this Blue Ember Smokehouse. So 40, 50 people, they'll fit in 70 if they need to. Don't worry about it. But they have a place for rent over here as well. And don't forget that they have whole turkeys that you can get already ordered and squared away for the Thanksgiving holiday. Feeds 18 to 20 people, $70 right there. Turkey breast that feeds 12 to 14 people for $55, as well as whole ham that feeds people 18 to 20, $65. So they got it all going on here. We can't wait to talk more about it. And of course, we're going to get into your heavy hitters. We're going to get into the chat, which I'm sure is going to be great and popping. But you mentioned it, Andrew, Wednesday, bye week. You got Well, I'll say this. It's a bye week, but not for Razorback basketball because it's technically, when is game week? Is it? I guess it's just every week. You know, like, because, you know, basketball, you got 2 games in a week. So I guess it's always game week. But you got Michigan State coming up this Saturday, which is going to be, I don't know if anybody heard, it's a cool game. Going to be a cool setup there. So what perfectly timed bye week for football is to have a great basketball game. Like, we do love basketball no matter what. But if they were playing a team like Southern on Saturday, you know, it's whatever. But Michigan State, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a lot of bit different. I guess they did this last year, John, and we drove down to Dallas for that Baylor game.
Yes,
and
that was a fun trip.
It wound up being a close game. I think Arkansas lost by 5 or something. But don't you remember how, well, neither team, but especially Arkansas, they just didn't look like they were ready for that moment.
Not at all.
Like, not quite ready for a big game like that. You feel like, I don't know, man, maybe they should have just played 4 or 5 of these bye games before they really test themselves. That's why I can't wait to see this for Arkansas. John Calipari would not have scheduled this game on the road at Michigan State the first weekend of the season if A, he didn't feel good about the team that he had, and B, I think it goes back to knowing what you have and having this returning core of guys back that you've been to wars with and everything, so you feel a little bit better about challenging yourself early. It's going to be crazy, man. We talked about it yesterday, but the Breslin Center at Michigan State was packed out for Colgate in their opener.
Nice.
And so I think it's a bye week for Michigan State football also, but, I mean, a Saturday evening, it's going to be nationally televised. You got a big opponent coming in there. It's going to be nuts, and I can't wait to see how Arkansas responds, especially the 2 young guns, the freshmen out there in a hostile environment.
You know what you want next on your schedule? You know, obviously the best possible win you could get, winning a title, beating the best team in the country, whatever. The team you want to play next is the best possible team that you think you can beat. And I think that's kind of what, I don't know, there's probably teams better than Michigan State that I know Arkansas could beat, but like, I think this is a perfect level of test where it's like, it would feel a lot different if Arkansas were going on the road to face the number 1 team in the country or something like that. Or if they were going on the road to face a team that they were like really uphill battle against. we'd feel different. But I think what's so exciting about this is we see this is an opportunity for Arkansas to make a pretty big statement. If they win, period, if they win by 1 point, that's going to be a really good win for the resume, really good vibes to start off the season. But this is also a team that I think Arkansas can kind of show their level, show where they're at. We've been kind of feeling like maybe the metrics don't respect Arkansas. Maybe they're not quite getting that buzz that we feel they maybe deserve. That'll go away if you go out there and play the way they're capable of playing Saturday. And so I think that's what's exciting about this opportunity is it's like, not like it's the best test Arkansas is going to face all year. It's not like an easy win by any means. This is a perfect level of test for this team to show just how good they are. And like you said, I don't think they would have been ready for this kind of test last year. In fact, they weren't because we watched it happen.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. And that's where, again, it's trying, at least for me, I'm going to speak only for me. I'm trying to keep my expectations and my excitement level in check as much as possible. But it's also, last year you mentioned it. I guess they beat Kansas in the exhibition, loss to TCU, right? I know you guys were at that game. Yep. And then was Baylor the first game or the second game?
Yeah, Lipscomb was that first game.
Right. Okay.
And it was kind of
Yeah, and you kind of felt like, even because you lost the TCU game, like, oh, man, this is, that Kansas game was great and all, but, Hunter Dickinson didn't play, Jonas Adu didn't play, all of that. But then it's like after this season, which I know obviously winning helps, but it's like similar setup as far as schedule goes. You played a big home game, and then you played on the road against a formidable opponent. You opened up with a lesser opponent, and now you're going on the road in a true atmosphere of Michigan State. Like, the way I'm going into this game, guys, I'm going in expecting Arkansas to win. Like, that's where I'm at. Now, if they lose, I'm not going to be like, this is crap, this team sucks, no one's good, any of that. That's stupid. But I am going in with the expectation to win, and I am going to be very disappointed if they don't win. And if they do win, then I'm just going to be, all right, I'm enough of this cautiously optimistic. I'm going all in on this team. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm expecting it. I want it. And if it happens, I'm going to be obnoxious.
I am too. Yeah, I definitely am too, man. I want them to look like they are ready for this because we feel like they might be further along than some other teams at this stage. And like, if you listen to Tom Izzo's press conference, which, by the way, we talked about that a little bit. Some people in the chat, I went and listened to it. He did say what we thought that he said, which is that they would get their what's embarrassed if they didn't play better on Saturday against Arkansas. And I agree. It's like I said on the pod, the Palace, the first stage to recovery is admitting you have a problem. And Arkansas is a problem. Walking in there on Saturday, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. The only thing, you're right, like a loss, not the end of the world because you got so many other opportunities. It's the second game of a 31-game regular season, but it will change the optics a little bit, and we'll have to deal with some stuff we don't want to deal with because if you win, then you've got 4 or 5, bye games where you shouldn't have any drama leading into that Thanksgiving game against Duke, which will be the next showcase opportunity. And the legend will continue to grow. The hype will just go higher and higher and higher. If you lose, depending on how it goes down, but at the end of the day, they end in a win or a loss. Then Arkansas will probably rattle off 4 or 5 in a row and become better as a team. And some guys will figure some things out. Nobody will care until you play Duke. It'll be like, all right, well, that's great, but let's see you beat somebody. I don't want to do that again this year. So let's just win this game Saturday.
Yeah, and we just have to accept it. I mean, in real life, these narratives and the way we view these things don't really matter. Like, whatever needs to happen for your team to make those progressions throughout the season can happen whenever they need to happen. It doesn't really matter. But like you said, in terms of vibes, in terms of our excitement, in terms of it being able to kind of snowball, because that's how it does feel when you start adding 3, 4, 5 wins. It's not like Arkansas will have done anything crazy between Saturday and the Duke game, but the difference between being 2-0 and being 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, it's like it starts to feel a little bit different, and we get to just kind of channel that and kind of keep riding the wave no matter what. And I think for this team, that's a wave I want to see them ride, And by the way, it's going to be something that can be a challenge for your team where you start riding it, you get that momentum, you feel like things are easy, and then you get punched in the mouth. So that inevitably will happen. But I kind of want to see the team go through some stuff like this, and I also want to see some people have to make some apologies to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Yeah. I do think if they whip up on Michigan State Saturday the way that they really might, like Tom Izzo said, I think that at least we'll get to feel pretty good about ourselves. But like you said, if they lose, they might really be the team we still think they are, but you gotta wait till they prove it against someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what the thing is, regardless of, because so early in the year, it's hard to know how good some of these teams are. Like with Memphis, when they played them, I know it was an exhibition game, but they had 15 new players and whatnot. And you think they're going to be good. You probably they're going to have some sort of element to them, but there's also how good truly are they? How good is Arkansas actually? But anytime that you go into a place like a Michigan State, into their arena, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, is Michigan State going to be a team that goes to a Final Four this year? I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. But you're going into their house. And what better way to kind of, stack up where you're at in the early part of the season than this? What better way to see, all right, what's the pecking order like? How do we prepare ourselves for the SEC? How do we prepare ourselves for some of these other big games you're going to have? Well, this is a great starting point. And I think what's going to trigger it is because of the type of magnitude a game like this could do for your confidence, and also just to be looking at a nice thing that you get talked about. Like, you're going to get talked about as like, hey, Arkansas beat Michigan State. It wasn't Arkansas won in an exhibition game, or hey, Arkansas looked good here. It's like, no, you went to East Lansing and you beat Michigan State. That's a massive thing, and hopefully it won't give the respect yet, but hopefully people start actually kind of coming around and saying like, hey, you know what, this Arkansas team may actually be good and one of the better teams in the SEC. That's what I'm hoping happens. It won't, but it'll be just a nice little like big double birds to everybody that's still like, Arkansas 6th, SEC maybe. Like, this is going to be a huge type of win for numerous amount of reasons.
Yeah, or 11th in the SEC or wherever the heck BPI has them in there.
Like
whatever their formula is, man, it just keeps dropping Arkansas on a nightly basis for whatever reason. But yeah, and it's just so notable that they're going on the road for this. You just don't see that many teams do this anymore. I'm not saying it doesn't happen ever, because it does, but for the most part, like high majors playing other high majors in out of league games, if it's on campuses, they're doing like the SEC ACC challenge or something like that, where they schedule it for you. But for teams to get together and actually do this and schedule these home and homes, which, man, I can't wait for next year when Michigan State comes here to Fayetteville. Like, that's going to be crazy. That'll be one of the better games that we've had in there in a long time. So that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, to go on the road in a true road environment like that and test yourselves, getting a win, it just means that much more. Like, it's in too early to talk about metrics or whatever, but the whole body of work counts. You want to talk about a quad 1A type of win, a kiss on the old resume there when you get to postseason play. You go on the road and beat Tom Izzo and Michigan State. That's going to be something that carries weight the entire year.
100%. And since you mentioned the metrics, like, you're right. This one singular game is not going to make or break whether or not Arkansas has a good enough BPI or whatever. You have so many opportunities. I think with the schedule and with obviously just the depth of the SEC, Hog fans kind of know they had that in their back pocket of, well, if we win, we still have a lot of other games that could maybe get us. And if we lose, well, we have a lot of other games that can make it up. But, and I don't want to put a ton of pressure on this game, like, you just don't want to have to go into that Duke game or that Louisville game and be like, man, we really kind of need a win because we haven't come up, we've come up short in some of these big game situations. And so it really won't be the end of the world. But I got to say, like, it would put a little bit of pressure. If Arkansas loses this game against Michigan State, it's not the end of the world, but it is going to maybe put a little bit of a different feel to that Duke game. And then you lose to Duke. There's nothing wrong with that. Just one game. It's in Chicago, not a huge deal. But then it kind of puts some more pressure on that Texas Tech game, that Louisville game. And so you don't necessarily have to win Saturday, but you really want to start getting some of these resume wins in your back pocket. You don't want to have to play the game that Arkansas had last year, where you start doing the math of, do they need to finish 3-5, 4? You know, you're like, dude, I just don't want to be doing math in January. I don't want to do math.
No.
Yeah. John, by the way, Bill Raftery on the call. Did you see that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Who's the play-by-play? Do you know? I mean, it's not going to be the ones I'm wanting.
It's not a name that I'm super familiar with. I'll find it.
If it was Gus Johnson and Bill Raftery,
it's not.
I didn't realize he was a Fox guy, but has he been a Fox guy the whole time?
No, once something happened with CBS, I guess once Nance got off there and everything, or maybe he's freelance. I don't know. I think actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned, I think there is an article where they said that he does something to where the NCAA tournament, they almost like pay him contract work to just come and call games. Like, he's not a CBS guy.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, you got to have Bill Raftery. I mean, you got to have him on the call. But that's awesome. I can't wait. Because the last time, well, actually, I don't know when the last time that Arkansas got called for a Bill Raftery game. Actually, no, I do. Arkansas played Michigan in Fayetteville. And that was a good game.
2011?
Yeah, 2012. Because that was a big game against Michigan and Arkansas won. Kevin Harlan was on that game, too. Poor guys had to go in there and call it Mike Anderson first-year team that went 18-14. But either way, that's going to be awesome, though. So maybe one of the times I don't mute the TV to watch the game.
Yes.
To hear Onions being called double order sauteed whenever you got Trevin Brazil posterizing a Michigan State player. Like that's what I'm going to look forward to. I can't wait now. And that's the deal. It's like you're on Fox. And not that Fox is like the no all be all, but it's different. You know, it's different from ESPN, you stupid jerks that won't get rid of the YouTube nonsense thing. Like I don't know what's going to happen first. The government's no longer shut down, or we're going to have a thing between Google and Disney happen. Like, I don't know. But at least it's on Fox, so at least we get to watch the game. Everybody can watch the game regardless of who you have. It's going to be awesome.
I have a confession to make.
What's wrong?
We got Hulu.
I mean, you switched?
Yeah.
Hulu Live, is that what you're on?
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate on you for it.
Like, I don't feel great about it, but, you know.
What are you going to do?
I know.
The thing is, like,
so frustrating.
We talk sports for a living, and the team we cover is exclusively on ESPN.
You know what's going to happen, Curtis? You're not going to come away from it and be like, dude, thank God I did this. This was awesome. I think it's just going to get the job done.
I think so, too.
Like, it's not going to be great. They do have all the cable channels and stuff. My sister does it, and, I don't hear her complain about it too much.
Yeah. I mean, I got to watch Kentucky stink it up on there last night, so.
There's some movies that are included in Hulu Live that are not included in normal Hulu, so be on the lookout for those.
What about any of those cool series? Is like
It depends on where it airs. Because that's what it is determined by, is if it's airing on one of those networks that you have in your cable or whatever, which I'm not good at remembering which one's a Fox, which one's an NBC or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm frustrated by it all. I want it all to end, and I'm still stuck, but it hasn't ended yet. But when you got Google and Disney, pretty big companies going at it, you're probably not going to have very good luck.
Yeah, Chase says it comes with Hallmark Plus, Curtis. You just got to get that.
There you go.
That's good.
Then you'll have all your shows. You're good.
That tells me that's exactly why my wife went ahead and took care of that. So,
man, I'm glad it's on Fox. That's all I'm going to say.
Let me just Hallmark's getting better. Okay, like they're not sticking to the same script anymore. They're mixing it up a little bit.
The cinematic universe is expanding.
Cinematic universe, they're going to start going back in time, bringing in the old ones in there too. I think ever since the Lindsay Lohan addition to the deal of Hallmark movies, it just kind of turned around. So. Either way, but listen, we're excited about basketball this week, and we're excited to be here at Blue Ember and Rogers. It's so much fun. So come on out and hang out with us if you have a chance here at the Rogers location. Again, 1723 Pleasant Grove Road here in Rogers, and we're going to tell you a lot more about what's going on with them, as well as some other things that we have happening. But want to remind everybody that here on Inside Arkansas Live, we're presented by our friends over at Drain Masters of Arkansas. They're licensed plumbing and drain cleaning, not only in Arkansas, but also in Oklahoma. And they can service the Northwest Arkansas area, the River Valley, no matter what, they can do it. They handle all of the plumbing and drain cleaning needs that you may have with professional and reliable service. And so if you're needing something, if you need any type of thing to check on your plumbing, to check on your draining, whatever it is, you can give them a call today at 479-646-5585. That's 479-646-5585. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen as well if you need to request a service. You can also like their Facebook page at Drain Masters Inc. And anytime that you use Drain Masters, folks, all you got to do is just say, you heard it from Inside Arkansas. You drop that little phrase, and you get 10% off each and every one of your services. It's that simple. So anything and everything plumbing related, no job is too big or too small. Drain Masters of Arkansas has you covered. Call them today at 479-646-5585.
Our interns are so dialed in right now. I mean, they're locked in.
Going to get the barbecue, but at least keeping the phone up to the ear, listening to make sure that the stream doesn't sound bad or anything. That's dedication.
That's really good work.
Also, we have to address, did you know that we have dueling salty hogs in the chat?
I'm seeing this right now.
I believe I think Big Salty Hog is with us.
Yes, that's right.
And Salty Hog 69 is not with us.
Right, that's right.
Is that an accurate assessment? Thumbs up. Okay.
I wonder if they're like distant relatives in some way.
Maybe. Look for them at Thanksgiving. See, you might see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that, or if you need to, we could send out a cease and desist with Hickey and Hull Law if you need us to. Make sure that nobody steals your identity out here if that's the case. So, it's good seeing him out here, and good for everyone being in there. But I did want to bring up one thing that we were kind of talking about with actually, I was going to see where the chat was. I guess from Big Salty Hog says, hell yeah, boys. Sorry, it was a little late. They need to put you over the loudspeaker in here. Great seeing y'all in person. Here's the thing is we actually have a speaker, but it's a matter of like lunchtime. And, we don't want to just be those people. You know what I'm saying? We might, but we just don't want to be those people just yet. But maybe next time we'll be able to pull that one off.
We do it on
sometimes.
occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on where we're at.
Alumni Hall We do it sometimes in there, but not super loud.
Yeah, we've done Alumni Hall. We've done it. Where was the other place that we did it? I know we've had
Foghorns.
Foghorns.
We were over the
Yeah.
loud
Oh, and we
speaker.
did at Goat Lab. We did at Goat Lab when we were doing that too.
that's
so,
right.
Yeah, because those are more locations that people would actually come to see us. There's just people here eating Blue Ember just to eat Blue Ember, and then they're dealing with us because we happen to be here.
They could leave educated if we
That's
wanted
true.
to.
Went in for some barbecue, came out with some ball knowledge.
Yeah, I see that. And the way you do it is when you start on the loudspeaker, you just say, "All right, everybody, stand up. We're going to call the hogs," and really get everyone fired up. I'm sure that would get everybody on board with us, and they'd really love us for doing that.
I bet by the end of the year we call the hogs in Blue Ember at some point.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah. So saying you dine on some fine swine and you call the hogs.
We've got to make this Inside Arkansas live show at Blue Ember bigger than Coach Cal live at Sassy's.
Yeah,
that's the
I
goal.
like that. I like
That's where we're at.
Yep. And you know what? If that keeps happening, maybe we'll have some specials. Maybe we'll do a night, live stream here for dinner at some point.
I like the way that sounds. Can I just throw this out there though, real quick? I want to give a shout out to Cal because everybody remembers last year he had his first radio show and he called in because he was at the Yankees game. He was in the box, and we were like, "Dang, he sent Kenny Payne, man, that's crazy." Yesterday, Monday night they play their first game of the season, and he has a press conference and everything. So it's later at night when he gets home. He gets up yesterday morning, flies out to what may have very well been Seal the Deal with your 5-star wing, Baba Oladaton, who, boy, that sounds great for Arkansas right now. And then he flew back to make it for his show at Sassy's. That's dedication to the fan base, man.
He did the press conference.
Yes.
They won the game, and he did the press conference.
Yes.
That was crazy.
If you need any other excuse for knowing that Cal and this basketball team is more locked in than what they are, I mean, that's if he's doing press conferences and going to the shows and doing all that,
And have you also noticed we haven't talked to Kenny yet? We haven't talked to Chin. We haven't talked to Chuck.
Nope.
But we have seen Billy Richmond and Darius Acuff and Nick Pringle and all these guys for the pregame pressers now. They're starting to roll the players through there. We asked. They listened.
Change.
I mean, come on, man.
The culture is changing as we actually get to hear from the coaches and the players. What a concept. Shout out to Coach for Briley, who's also a new member, by the way. Appreciate it, Briley.
Like that.
Shout out Bonnie Diaz for matching Brazil's 25 points last night for the Ladybacks.
They all see. They all see for the Ladybacks. Hey, how about that? Down 17-2, like 3 minutes into the game. Wound up winning pretty comfortably.
Yeah, comeback win right there, man. That's good work.
I don't know how many games they're going to win, but they are going to be fun.
Yeah,
I like what they got going on. They got some good vibes.
Well, I guess this time a year ago, Mike Neighbors got down that bad to Kelsey Music and Roberts, right? I think it was last year. It might have been the year before, but I don't think that got any better for him.
I think he just stayed down.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, a good rally for them, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, love seeing that. Also, a shout out to Grant, who gets super chat, says, "I feel like a championship year for basketball."
You got to specify because we got 2 undefeated squads on campus.
That's right. Yeah,
maybe both.
Yeah, make a run for it. I'd be in favor.
Y'all like the video, by the way, of Cal calling Kelsey Music after her big win?
Yeah, listen,
good man. He's a man of the people. He's he believes in the greater good of this athletic department. And just every time I see something like that, I'll throw the first pitch out with Dave, or I'm on the sideline with Pittman or whatever. Like, he's hanging out with all the coaches, and I always remember the pissing match between him and Stoops at Kentucky when he was like, "Oh, it's a basketball school," and they were going back and forth. Hilarious, man.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother last night, though. Still is hard for me to just get over the Cal thing. Like, every time I see him and how much hatred I had for him, and then now I'm seeing him and he's just like, "You're so good. It's hard for me to hate you." It's like from one of our favorite movies of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, when they're out on the surfboard and he's talking to the guy that was cheating on. He's just like, "F, you're cool, man." Like, I should hate you, but I can't help it. That's how I feel with Cal. It's like, I should hate this man, but I can't. I can't hate on him for what he's done. So awesome, dude.
I also think Cal's cooler than the Russell Brand character, if I'm being honest with you.
I think so.
I didn't think he was that cool.
Yeah. No, he wasn't that cool.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he was. What if your cell phone killed you? I mean, come on. Shout out to Big Salty Hog for the super chat. He says, "I need a cease and desist for the fake Salty Hog." Big Salty Hog is in the house today. CW, who's your top scorer this week? I'm feeling Leak.
Man, it's hard to go against Malik Thomas. Here's what we know about Leak. He's always going to be in the conversation to lead the team in scoring because he's going to get them shots up, right? He's going to put them up. There's no doubt about it. The dude took 10 threes in the first game of the year, and I wish he would have shot more. So not only is he taking the most shots, he's taking the ones that count for the most points there. So I like the idea of Malik Thomas going crazy. I'm not going to pick him, though, against Michigan State because I do think, I talked about this earlier, it's going to be one of the returners. I'm not saying that Malik Thomas or Darius Acuff are going to play poorly down there. I don't think that they will. But when you go to your first true road test, hostile environment and everything, experience really matters in those moments. So call me crazy. I think it's going to be a balanced attack for Arkansas. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. We'll call this a bold prediction. DJ Wagner leads Arkansas in scoring at Michigan State.
It is interesting. I have a question. How far away is Flint, Michigan, or Detroit? Sorry, not Flint. Detroit from East Lansing.
I don't think it's that far. In fact, somebody might have just said it in the chat a minute ago. Very much drivable.
You think Acuff's going into this one like he's got 30 family members in town and he's like, I gotta show up?
Yeah.
Kind of like, what was it, Boogie last year in New York? And they were like the biggest story. They're like, it's like, how many people showed up to this? It's like a lot. Yeah. It's like, the closest one there.
Whole section, you know.
Hickory Hog, appreciate the super chat. He also says LeBron will soon model his game after Malik Thomas.
He should.
I like that.
He should consider it.
Yeah.
Really.
He should just consider playing basketball is what LeBron should consider doing.
I've seen so many he should. I've seen so many. Everybody loves to do the player comps, you know, and a bunch of people are doing the Acuff and Dame Lillard thing, and I've seen a ton of them. Do we see some Nick Smith with Malik Thomas with the way that they play? Because I think I do.
I know there's definitely a similarity. Dude, did you see, I watched the highlights of Nick Smith's game.
That's why I said that.
It's a lot. I was stunned by how many pull-up jumpers he took. And like obviously that's his game, but I'm like, because a lot of times with these guys that shoot a lot of pull-up jumpers in college, you're like, okay, in the NBA, you're going to have to shoot, spot up, stand in the corner. I think it's cool that the NBA is now letting random role players take pull-up threes. And so I'm like, dude, that's actually intriguing to me because I don't think you have to look at Malik Thomas and say, oh, he's going to have to change the types of shots that he likes to take. It's like, dude, everybody has that green light. And so I think there's something to it. I do think Malik is a better, more consistent. I think he's probably better around the rim than Nick Smith. That was one thing that Nick, I feel like, struggled with in college is just wasn't that great around the rim. We haven't seen a huge sample size with Malik, but I don't think that's a crazy, like, in terms of play style.
Yeah.
Also, Dakota just says, fellas, if I come to Blue Member for lunch, what shall I get?
So I'm not even a burnt ends guy, but I always get the burnt ends here. I love the smoked turkey, too. The turkey's good. The briskets obviously.
I was a burn ends, man.
Brisket's like, that's just a typical, you got to run the ball sometimes.
The burn ends would be the pick for me. I will say, I ate a rib the last time they brought them out here. Really good. Falling off the bone, man.
Again, so what it sounds like is whatever you get, it's going to be awesome. So, no matter what you look at the menu, they got a vast amount of it with that and the sides. And you got to get the ice cream cone apparently at the end too. Can't forget that.
About this tall worth of an ice cream cone.
Yeah, the towering thing of ice cream. So you got to check into that as well. We'll have some more of your chats here in a bit too, folks. I want to remind everybody, one of our new sponsors here on Inside Arkansas Live, of course, is Air of the Ozarks, your number one heating and cooling company in Northwest Arkansas. It's pretty nice today outside. I mean, it's beautiful weather and everything, but we know nighttime it gets cold. And when that happens, we're getting closer to the wintertime where it's going to just stay cold. Well, make sure that heating is ready to roll with Air of the Ozarks Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been serving Northwest Arkansas with trusted HVAC repairs and installation services for all residential and commercial clients. And they understand that your HVAC system is a major, major investment. So with the temperatures dropping, you need to be sure that your heating system is capable of keeping your family safe and comfortable throughout the cold season. So if you're looking for an estimate, so you're looking to figure out and make sure everything's good to go and making sure that you have your service in store, just call them today, 479-795-2018. That's 479-795-2018. And the best thing about it is the first 20 callers that call and mention Inside Arkansas, you get a free preventative maintenance or service call. That's right, free preventative maintenance or service call for the first 20 callers. And every caller after that, it's okay. You're still going to receive something too. You get half off preventative maintenance or service call. So no matter what, if you're first 20 or if you're after the 20, you still get a great deal. So no matter what, it happens for you. So check out their website at airoftheozarks.com. It's Air of the Ozarks, better air, better service, just better. Okay, so again, we're here live at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Rogers. There was which one of the chats I think that we had before the show I was going to bring up, but it's not highlighted anymore. It's almost like when we start the stream.
Was it the one that said
yes, about the article.
Trail Nation article?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up, and for some reason I guess whenever we start the stream and they're like, hey, we don't want that anymore. We don't want to talk about that and do with that. Oh, here we go.
I found it.
Okay,
Oh,
you did.
okay.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't realize if you just scroll up, that could help. The real whatever. He says I read a Pig Trail article saying the top 2 coaching candidates are James Franklin and Alex Golish. I'd be happy with either, but I think Franklin is leaning towards Virginia Tech.
I don't know that anyone really knows where James Franklin is leaning other than James Franklin. I know people put some stuff out there and you collect tidbits and everything like that. It feels like it's too early to say. I know some folks think that he was going to decide yesterday by noon or whatever. Now it's going to be Friday, or like there's some kind of standing deadline there. I'm not so sure about that. I think Arkansas is still working to kind of get their financial package and everything in place for him. He's going to want a lot of money, not just for his own salary and everything, but like NIL commitment and everything like that before he makes the decision. And I also heard that he might be a guy who kind of waits it out a little bit to see what other dominoes might fall, like what other jobs come open, who leaves sitting jobs to go to other ones, and kind of play the field a little bit. So I don't know if it's too soon maybe to talk about a lean, but I will say I think we all pretty much know at this point that Arkansas is in there, man. Like they're after James Franklin. Is Golish number 2? I don't know about that.
That part I don't.
I hope so. Let me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I think he's really, really good. And we talked about all the like the G5, G6 guys, and I think he's probably my favorite of all that we've talked about there. So if Arkansas wound up with one of those guys, I'd be pretty pumped about it either way.
It does seem like Arkansas is making a concerted effort to join the Franklin sweepstakes and kind of get in there, which that alone I'm good with. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, first reported by John Neighbors. But I do appreciate that. Like there is a real effort from Arkansas to get in there. And what I'm about to say now, I'm not basing it off of any source or scoop or whatever some fake insider said. I just look at Virginia Tech and that situation, and I see a program that should be pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, that's a great fan base, awesome stadium atmosphere. They have a solid culture. They're also in the ACC where we've seen SMU go 8-0 in the ACC.
Yeah.
We've seen Boston College have a random good year. We've seen Syracuse go 9-3. We've seen all these completely dog water teams make a run in the ACC. And so if I'm James Franklin, which I'm not, but if I were James Franklin, it'd be hard for me not to look at Virginia Tech and say, man, that's a pretty solid situation if you're trying to kind of rebound. That has a very high floor. Also seems like they have a very real commitment. And so those are questions that Arkansas is going to have to prove to James Franklin they can answer on the NIL front, on the coaching salary front, of course. Also on the, hey, why is this a better opportunity for me than Virginia Tech? Will they be able to do it? I don't know, but I appreciate that they're making an effort.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
Oh, I was just going to say it does feel like from because I listen to all these national guys just to get a more, because that's more of like a 40,000 foot view at certain things. And I haven't heard a whole lot about Franklin from those guys. Now, we talk to our own people, and we have maybe even a little bit better insight into what the U of A is actually trying to do. So that's a thing there. But if you listen to some of these other guys, you hear, I've heard Golish's name. I see in the chat, I think it was Chris Sullivan that said Marcelo was saying maybe Golish or Morris over at North Texas. I'm seeing a lot of those types of names from a national standpoint, but it seems to be brewing, behind the scenes from folks that we've talked to that they might be trying to take a bigger swing. Might they wind up with a guy like that? And I say a guy like that, like I don't want to shortchange them. I think both of those guys would actually be pretty darn good hires, but of course, but I do think they might have their sights set a little bit higher right now.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, if it's one of those guys and you start hearing those names, a lot of cases it's because those guys themselves want the job and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So they'll be very, not like coming out and tweeting it, but they'll be, not hiding from the fact that, I'd like to coach in the SEC. It's not a controversial thing. It's like, I'd like that job. I'd be interested. So the James Franklin thing, though, it's like, say if it is Virginia Tech, because there's only so much thing that we know about, but it's like, say if it came down to Arkansas, Virginia Tech, those are the two choices that he wants. To me, it's like, if you're going to truly show how serious you are to get better at football, if you win that sweepstakes. Because if that's who
Yeah.
you want, and you talk about Virginia Tech, and it is a good job. I'm not saying it's not. But if you're serious about it, you cannot lose out to Virginia Tech if that's the guy you want, if it's down to those two schools. Because James Franklin may get a call from Auburn, and they offer him something crazy, or Florida, whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that can change. But to me, if you're, it's a showcasing of just how serious you are, where if it comes to find out that, hey, you beat out Virginia Tech for James Franklin, he's your head coach. I'm like, you guys finally put your balls on the table and said, hey, this is our guy, and we're not losing out to some other scrub program because we're better, and we're going to show it, and we're going to show our commitment to it by hiring this man.
100%. And then, of course, by the way, that would also mean that you probably had a pretty firm commitment in the NIL department, because he's not just going to come here without knowing that. So that would also signal to me, okay, that is actually, y'all are doing something different. We always say, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different. That would at least tell me, hey, you are doing something different. So that's cool. I also think, and I made the case kind of why Virginia Tech would be very appealing to James Franklin. And it's not even really a who's a better program, what's a better school, who has a higher ceiling. I just think that the Virginia Tech thing is a lower risk maneuver for James Franklin. But I do think that you would rather be in this sweepstakes than against Florida, against Auburn, against LSU, which I honestly, as much as, and I know, like you said, Curtis, national guys see Arkansas hiring kind of a group of five guy, which I think part of that is because they just look around the SEC and say, oh, all these other big jobs, they're not going to get their number one choice. I don't think Franklin is necessarily in the Florida sweepstakes or the Auburn sweepstakes, maybe the Auburn one or the LSU one. I don't think LSU would hire James Franklin.
Right.
And so I think Arkansas actually, this is kind of your big chance. We'll see if they're able to make it happen.
Well, and also to your point, if I don't know if this is how Florida or LSU or whoever's looking at it, but say someone says, well, why wouldn't they be interested in James Franklin? Because I'm sure from their perspective, they're like, well, he couldn't do it at Penn State, so why is he going to come in here and win a championship? Like, if he had all the resources, he was there, but, if he couldn't do it there after that period of time and he had this horrible record against top 5 teams, how is he going to be any different here? So they're probably having him lower down on the list, where at a place like Arkansas or Virginia Tech, buddy, you just come in and give us have us not go to the Liberty Bowl, but even a better bowl game.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get crazy and go to the Music City, we'll love you.
Auburn is a team that logistically should be looking at James, although it's kind of it's similar to the hire they just made with Hugh Freeze, kind of a reclamation, second chance hire of a guy that had coached this level before. I also think for LSU, it's very similar to the Brian Kelly hire. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the guy's second school. You're getting a big name guy. And that's why I think Auburn should be going after James Franklin. I just don't expect them to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's interesting. And I don't even know if I would call him, and I 100% understand what you're saying. Is it even a reclamation? Because he did just get fired, but it wasn't like your typical firing. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it wasn't this overall lack of success. They've been really, really good. 3 double-digit win seasons in a row, college football semifinal. We know all the story about it. And you just had super, super high expectations for this year. And as soon as it was clear that wasn't going to happen, they were like, see you, dude.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was kind of that boiling over point of, you're not going to get us to that mountaintop where we want you. So it's like it's a prove it ground for him wherever he winds up going. But I don't look at him and go, he's washed or he's on the decline as a coach or whatever. He was kind of still operating at high level. He just had a 3-week span there where it kind of got off the rails on him.
I mean, if Penn State could do it over, would they even do it again? I mean, because I think now they've obviously already been turned down by old boy at Nebraska.
Yeah.
We'll see if Matt Campbell or somebody like that comes and bails them out. But it's entirely possible they end up hiring someone less proven than James Franklin.
And I do wonder, because I know, there's obviously a very big concerted effort to drum up a whole bunch of money for this football program. You have to have that no matter who you hire. It would be easy to say, because we've heard all the stuff about, James Franklin, wherever he goes, he wants upwards of $30 million in, NIL, whether it's NIL, revenue share, whatever. He wants to have that for his roster, and he would need this and that and the other. Maybe you can come up with that for him. Maybe you can. I don't know. But let's say he decides to move on. Would you still be in a position to try to have $70 million for Alex Golish? Right. You know what I mean? Because what was it, like 30 to 40 million? And I think it's Trey Biddy's reporting there of injecting it into the football program, which I think is a very important distinction of
which. Yeah. Okay. I need to pull up. I just saw a chat about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to pull up because Hog Hottie here says if Biddy is correct with his numbers he has heard, we get Franklin, we would have a $30 million roster.
It's
Imagine,
not that simple.
That is not what Biddy reported.
Right. It is the money that they are raising for the football program right now. And he was very clear about this because I listened to his show yesterday and had some really good stuff in there. But what he was saying was that is for travel. It's for staff. It's for your assistant pool. It's to inject the program. And he said multiple times, this is not NIL. So they're trying to get $30 to $40 million put into this football program. And then they've got to figure out the NIL aspect of this, which is an entirely different animal. So it's a lot of money that they're trying to come up with. 30 to 40 million is a ton of money to come up with. But if we're talking about then a $30 million roster on top of that, even if you're counting rev share into it, you're talking at $50 to $60 million that they're trying to come up with to get the program where it needs to be at middle of the pack financially in the SEC and competing from a roster standpoint. That's a lot of cash, man.
And also to add to it to where, people have been waiting. Well, we don't even have a collective anymore. Like, we don't have a collective anymore. It's like, well, you do. And people are wondering, when's it going to get announced? They're not going to announce it. They have something in place, but they're not going to do it until they know the coach, until they hire the coach, because it would be extremely stupid to announce, we have this collective, give us money. And you're like, we don't even know who the coach is. Like, it'd be dumb. So anybody that's saying, oh, well, where's the collective? What's going on? It's going to be there, and it's going to be announced, and it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be, at least, here's hoping, a better situation than what you had before with the Blueprint Sports and everything. But if you make it right, and when you were talking about the money and all of that, and it's, if it is a James Franklin, if they do the collective right at the same time of the announcement and everything, I think you'll have a lot more people apt to give into that and to make that. It won't be the big numbers of the NIL, but it'll at least be a lot better of a situation for the common fan to give into than what it was previously.
Well, and also, as we've known all along, it ain't like the collective is where that $70 million is going to come from. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not what you're counting on to fund your program and hire your coach. That's a little bit of money to play with outside of it. That's like kind of separate from all of this.
Yeah. And one last thing too on that is you got to remember in these negotiations, this is why it's so crazy. Because say if it's James Franklin, say if we know it's Jimmy Sexton's his agent, and you go in and you're like, all right, we got this James Franklin. We want to offer you $10 million, whatever it is per year. You got this inordinate amount of money. You got an inordinate amount of money that you're promising him. And he says no. Here's the problem. Jimmy Sexton hears that, and he hears that's how much money that they got and they're willing to do. So I'm going to go to my other guys here and be like, hey, this is how much they're willing. Even if they're not worth it, he's going to know that they have that type of money to spend. So he's going to try to just squeeze it out of him. So that's another thing where whatever the first offer, if it's actually happened or however it's done, you went in with James Franklin. You just know that you showed your hand. Like, so now it's a matter of like, it'd be nice if you could just get him and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But as soon as you open that up, Jimmy Sexton's going to do his Jimmy Sexton thing and start going to these other coaches and be like, we know how much money they have now.
You wouldn't be able to offer Franklin $10.5 million and then come back and hire Alex Golish for $8 million. You wouldn't be able to work like that. But at the same time, I think that's something you have to be prepared for if you're Arkansas. If you're prepared to pay James Franklin 10.5 or whatever it is, you need to be willing to pay some coach, and that should be kind of where you're at.
Yep, absolutely should. We're here live at Blue Ember and Rogers. Appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate everybody hanging out here with us today. But want to remind everybody, as we talked about, Hickey & Hull Law is the official law firm here of Inside Arkansas, and we're going to make sure that Big Salty Hog hits them up for the cease and desist of the other Salty Hog that's in our chat. So you better be on the lookout. You're going to be getting a call from the law partners of Hickey & Hull. I can tell you right now, because they deal with it all. Divorce, custody cases, criminal cases, civil litigation, personal injury, estate planning, each and everything you could possibly think of. They handle it, and they do it with the care and compassion that's needed, because you never want to go through one of these things alone, but you also don't want to go through it with somebody that's not going to give you the attention that you deserve, not give you the advice that you deserve, not walk you through each and every step of the way. Hickey & Hull has you covered across the board and all of that. So give them a call today for any of your legal needs and advice at 479-434-2414. That's 479-434-2414. You can also check out their website at hickeyandhull.com. It's Hickey & Hull Law. Things are about to get better.
Salty Hog 69 said he's calling now. He's trying to get out in front of it.
Man, yeah, may have to do it, dude. Yeah, you can't be waiting around because he may call first, and he'll be like, "It's actually my name." It's so you better get on that quick, fast, and in a hurry.
What if he's just running both accounts over there? That'd be a masterful gambit.
Yeah, it would. Like, listen, I never put anything past any of our chatters, man. Like just the obsession that they have for nonsense. So
I love it, man.
yeah, absolutely. A few other chats though. Appreciate super chats that we have. Joshua says, Curtis, great pod this morning. I watched Duke, etc. I love Hogs roster. I will have confidence in them against any team.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, as you should. They're very talented. They've looked really good. You know, and they've already faced a little bit of adversity and responded to it. And it was an exhibition, but other Razorback teams in recent years would not have responded as well as they did at Memphis. So, yeah, I mean, they need to get and stay healthy and all those things factor into it. But you should have confidence in them for sure. Yeah, I watched quite a bit of Duke in Texas last night, and that went about the way I thought it did. Duke looked very beatable in the first half, and then at the end of the day, they're just more talented and better than Texas, and they pulled away. I do think Texas is going to be a problem in the SEC moving forward. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Like Sean Miller's a really good coach, but I mean he's really relying on like Tremont Mark to be an all SEC type of player for him. And
wait, hold on, sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
he's
found
still
that
there.
Out. I found this out literally days ago, and I was like, wait, what?
I thought you were joking when you brought that up. Oh, actually there?
Yeah, he's their guy. So it's tough, man.
What the heck? I thought you were kidding.
No.
Thought it was a joke, but no. Okay, well,
Tremont Mark will drop 30 on someone and beat him,
but
he will also. He lowers their ceiling a good bit.
Yeah,
well, because man, so is he gonna? Does Arkansas play Texas twice this year? Or just one time?
I think just once.
Is it in Fayetteville or in Austin?
It's the regular season home finale in Fayetteville.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say, I was like, it'd be funny where it's like Tremont Mark has these amount of games that he's played in Fayetteville as a current player and former player. So because we know they played last year, and Arkansas swept Texas last year, right? Am I mistaken?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yep.
So let's make it a full even sweep.
The one at home, they beat the crap out of them at Texas. The one
That's
at home
right.
went to overtime. It was the first game that Thero was hurt. So Brazil had the big game, and Trey Johnson went for 35 or whatever it was. It was crazy. And you guys remember in overtime when it was the Big Z show, and then people were so mad because on that they were getting pressed. And on that inbounds play, Big Z just like fell over. I've never seen a grown man fall slower than it took Big Z to get to the ground. They called the foul and he got to go to the free throw line. Texas fans were pissed about it, but yeah, it was a crazy game in there.
Just imagine having was it Trey Johnson? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Imagine having him and not like being good. I know they made the tournament, I think, just barely, but
right?
Yeah, that guy was
a huge lead. They blew a huge lead to Sean Miller. Right?
Yeah.
In the tournament?
Yes.
Yeah. And I know we're not talking about things, but like Trey Johnson was one of the greatest like freshman players I've seen just consistently. That dude was incredible what he did, and especially against Arkansas. So
before we move on from Texas, I just want to pull this up real quick because this is a fact. Massa from work, he says you can count on Andrew to hate on T Mark. Yeah, you were on it.
Yeah, from the very jump.
You were on it from the jump, man. The black hole.
He is a solid, talented basketball player.
He is, yeah.
Who just has a very defined skill set that is not going to change or evolve or do anything. And it is what it is. Like he is productive. He's been on some good teams and helped those teams, but if he's your best player, you're just not in good shape.
I'm going to bring this up with that. I'm going to be honest. I don't like hating on any other current players, former players of Arkansas, even if they transferred somewhere else. I don't really like hate. Chris still pissed me off. This is stuff that he keeps posting on his TikToks.
Yeah.
To this day, is still posting stuff about Arkansas and how he was like screwed over. I'm like, dude, let it go.
Yeah,
that was literally 4 years ago. Like, let it go, my man. So, anyways, that's one that I won't mind. But speaking of hate, a guy Jason with super chat, appreciate it, man. He goes, I don't understand the PJ Fleck hate. He has one more games in Minnesota than any other coach since the 40s, and he does it with significantly less resources. I think we could do much worse.
You could do much worse than PJ Fleck, and I don't know that there's a whole lot of hate. I think I said it would just be fine. I just don't think it would be that exciting of a hire. You did more with less at Minnesota, so you would do more with even less in the SEC at Arkansas, where you don't have any real recruiting ties or experience down here. I don't know, and I don't want to take away from anything he's done at Minnesota because you're right. Like he's, I guess, been the one of the better coaches they've ever had there, and he's had a few really good years. But they were in that opposite division from Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's the two sides of the Big Ten were built differently for quite some time there, kind of like the SEC was for a while. I think he would do fine here. It's kind of like you said yesterday. If you want to go 6-6, 7-5, and then you might have the occasional year above that. He could probably do that for you. I don't know how good of a fit that would be, but I wouldn't be like, trying to burn down Razorback Stadium over anything. I'd just be like, all right, it just wouldn't excite me as much as some of the others.
You could easily do a lot worse than him, because I do think that, like, if you hired PJ Fleck, you would not be going 2-10, 3-9. I think you would just be going 5-7 to 7-5 every single year, which is, I mean, more or less what he does at Minnesota. I know he's gone a little bit better, like he's gone 7-6 and 9-4 or whatever. But it's kind of what he does. Like, I just think his style of football, it raises your floor and it lowers your ceiling. And I just look at the teams that they've had and some of the way they play football against some of these other teams. It doesn't really give them a chance, especially with the talent they have, to compete on a real national level. And I think that everything I just said would still be true if he came to Arkansas. Like, I think Arkansas would not lose to Memphis. They would not lose to bad SEC teams. But I also don't think they would have a chance of beating anyone good, which, there are a lot of coaches who, like you said, could do worse. I just think, like, you should at least make other people say no. And I definitely don't think I think he's a great value version of what Brett Bielema was coming to Arkansas. I mean, Brett Bielema had more success at Wisconsin. I know it's a little bit better program, but it's like, he didn't translate to the SEC because what he was trying to do in the Big Ten doesn't work in the SEC. I think the same would be true for PJ Fleck.
Well, I always looked at it. I think Colin Cowherd brought it up, and I've always used it as far as like your coach and how you have him, and looking at your league and your conference. If you hired PJ Fleck, how many other schools in the conference would trade you coaches in the SEC if you had PJ Fleck? I mean, maybe
only people that hate their coach.
I mean, that would be the case. It's like, but like, say, like, is Auburn trying to hire PJ Fleck? Or I don't think I know LSU and Florida aren't, but would South Carolina maybe trade Shane for PJ Fleck? Maybe,
probably not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, that to me is kind of an indicator. It's not the only indicator, but look at the other teams in your conference, and then you think about PJ Fleck. If he was your coach, how many other coaches would you, even if you just hired him, how many coaches would you trade in the SEC for PJ Fleck? It's like, would you trade, somebody like Kalen DeBoer? Would you trade Shane Beamer? I don't know, but the point is, it's just not the most inspiring hire. Yeah. That's what I agree with you both. It's not the worst. It's not just this disaster area. Like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Poverty program, blow it up. But it's also not one that I'm just going to start running out the red carpet, just be like, we're back, baby. We are so back.
I mean, literally mere days ago, like 10 days ago, he lost 41-3 to Iowa. And I understand, it's one game or whatever. You read off the schedule the other day, like every good team they played this year, they lost like 41-3, 42-3 or something like that. And like, that's not a crime, but it's like, sure, he would maybe have a better football team at Arkansas that would, could maybe beat Iowa. But it's like, would he really would it be that big of a gap? Because he would also be competing with, better recruiting teams. Like, I don't know, man. I just look at those teams at Minnesota. Arkansas's been better than those teams most of these years, frankly. Mm-hmm. Like, I think every single KJ Jefferson Razorback team would have beat every single Minnesota team that PJ Fleck's had. Like, if y'all just watch them play football, them dudes are not good.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. We're live here at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Rogers, folks. At 1723 Pleasant Grove Road. Be here the first Wednesday of each and every month moving forward, as they have some great barbecue. And a reminder that if you're looking for some food when it comes to your holiday season, they have whole turkeys that feed 18 to 20 people for $70. So forget cooking and all that stuff. Let the pros do it. Then you just come here and pick it up. You have to have the orders in by November 21st, and you pick them up by November 26th, and you got yourself a great Thanksgiving. So, be sure to check that out. No, Chris, I did not miss your super chat. I'm getting to it. Don't you worry. But Chris wants to know, is their front court better than ours? I assume he's talking about Michigan State.
It's not as talented as Arkansas. It's different, man. Like, this is your classic SEC versus Big Ten matchup in the paint. Like, Arkansas's will be significantly more athletic. But Michigan State's got a couple, big, strong dudes in there. I think Jackson Kohler is their starting five-man. He's 6'9", 250.
Is he somebody's brother?
I don't know. Probably.
He probably does have a brother.
I feel like there was a Kohler that played, like a big white dude that played college basketball.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe
few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to research this.
But I think he had like 16 and 15 or whatever against Colgate. And so, they're going to have to figure out how to match up with him physically. For sure in this game, he can stretch it out and knock down some threes. Carson Cooper is another, he's like 6'10", 6'11", 250 pounds. They just like that. Really smart basketball players, tough, physical. They'll box you out. They'll throw an elbow on you. but are they going to be able to run the floor with you? Are they going to be able to drag out on the perimeter and defend TB or Malik Ewan? Probably not. So it's really a contrast of styles. But no, they're not more talented than Arkansas, but they've got good players in their own right down there for sure.
See, I'm going to be honest. I have not watched a single thing about Michigan State. I know nothing about Michigan State, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume they have like a 6'7" guy that's like 240 pounds, because I feel like that's all. They always have one of those guys that's just like built like a Draymond Green, just a stocky 6'7" guy. And
Kohler is the guy you're thinking of. He's 6'10", but he is a throwback type of basketball player that's like only exists in college basketball.
Yeah. They have a dude on their team though, Cohen Carr, who's a wing for him. He's like a Du Thero levels of athletic. Crazy athletic.
Always.
So
like if you just asked me to like create a Michigan State basketball player under Tom Izzo, it's like 6'7", 240.
Their point guard had 200 assists last year.
Sheesh.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's a very selfless player. You know, that's
they always have a good point guard. You remember that Cassius Winston, that dude that had the big old forehead?
Yeah.
He was good. They always have a good point guard at Michigan State.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, guys. I hate Tom Izzo.
I don't hate him, but
I hate him.
I'm generally pretty anti, though.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. There's something about him bothers me.
Tom Izzo do to you?
Well, just because it's like I feel like he's like Bob Stoops to me. He's like, he won a championship so long ago.
That's a great call.
And it's like, it's great, and he's consistent, but then it's like, what do you do, man? And then he kind of complains a lot. He's whiny, and also the stuff of, and I love John Rothstein, but the January, February, Tom Izzo. I'm like, stop.
Yeah, I'm
stop
with you.
it.
He's milked as much as he possibly can. And, like, listen, there's nothing wrong with, I mean, Cal only has one title. There's nothing wrong with having one
title. But it wasn't 25 years ago.
A very long time ago. And it's like, again, like he still has this moniker that he's like this guy that shows up in March. It's like, oh, yeah, he dominates March. And, they've had some good teams, some good runs. I definitely think we're on the tail end of it.
Yeah. How many Final Fours?
I mean, when's the last time they went to the Final Four? Truly,
I think it was actually somewhat recently, to be honest.
Dude, anybody who listened to the opening segment of Pot at the Palace this morning is just laughing out loud right now,
because it's to say you do the same bit of like, how long can you do the March moniker?
I did the same bit of there are no two more accomplished coaches in this sport that just cannot escape the allegations than Tom Izzo and John Calipari, for all the reasons that were just laid out here. And it's true. And it's a little bit different, but there are some similarities between kind of their trajectory. And, people were saying, oh, it's so long ago, they're washed, like they're not getting up with the times, whatever, throw in there. And then you look up and like both of them were in the second weekend last year, and they're still winning a lot of games, and people are still like, no, it's not like the other guys. It's funny. It's funny to me.
Well, my only thing is, it's cool. I think he's obviously a Hall of Fame, without a doubt. Like he's gonna, they're gonna have a statue for him and stuff. I just feel like at this stage of college basketball, do I still have to consider him a like top 5, top 10 coach?
No,
you know what I mean? Because I feel like at this point, it's like, and like they had a good team last year, but it's like the last like 5 years, if you break it down a little bit, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, he's been to 8 Final Fours. I think Cal's been to 6, right? Is that the number for Cal? Or 6 that are still
6? Yeah.
None of that. We don't count the vacated ones. He still got there. So yeah, he's done that. 6 Big Ten tournament titles. I mean, it's all great and all. Only difference is I doubt Tom Izzo has fed as many families and provided as many families.
No, yeah, he hasn't done that.
That's substantially.
Yeah, because who's his best pro? Is it Draymond Green? Is that his best pro player?
Denzel. Yeah, Draymond's probably the one.
I mean, nothing against it, but
was Zach Randolph a Michigan State Spartan?
It's hard to tell because it's like he seems like the type of player that would fit into the Michigan State.
He does seem like he would play at Michigan State. Denzel Valentine. Jaren Jackson's not a bad one at all.
Zach Randolph was.
Yeah, Zach Randolph was for sure.
I mean, we'll see how Jace Richardson ends up.
Magic Johnson. No, I mean, it just feels like Izzo's been there.
Miles Bridges.
Jason Richardson. There's some back in the day, but yeah, Miles Bridges is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when you've been there for 25 plus years, you're probably going to get a few of those, but either way, it's fine. It's just again, I just never liked the guy. It is what it is. But you better just stay not retired and be here in Fayetteville next year. That's all I'm going to say. And I will really hate him if he retires after this year and you got some assistant coach like his son or some crap coming into Bud Walton Arena next year. That's really going to just set me off.
That would be kind of annoying.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, no offense. It's like, okay, yeah, it's still Michigan State, but it's like, it was like when Arkansas played Duke. Yeah, it's still Duke, big time. It's like, John Shire, though.
We'd be doing the bit after the game where we'd be like, man, there was only 14,000 fans there. What was going on? Oh, I mean, it's not Izzo's Michigan State.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect?
Now the month of March is just called March.
Yeah,
there's called Izzo's.
Yeah, there was a wreck at the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. So, yes, once again, folks, we're here at Blue Ember. in Rogers at I just know that girl that just walked in. Sorry. Let's see. So a few other chats here too. Shout out to Sharkensaw. Said, hey guys, finally caught up to the first game on Monday. TB might have a chance to replicate Janai Broom's season last year. Let Wooden Watch begin.
Ooh.
That's
Dang. That's high
Ooh.
praise there. I like that.
man.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd go with it.
I gotta be honest with you, it's not the craziest thing I've heard. Janai Broom had a tremendous season.
He did.
Tremendous season.
What if Trevin Brazil won player of the year in the SEC this year?
It would be incredible.
Awesome, but it just
I've got a perfect clip receipt that I'll pull if that happens. I was listening to the Sleepers Media guys who just do not like Arkansas, but the first thing was like, oh, I get Arkansas fans, in the comments all the time. Oh, Trevor Brazil is going to be player of the year. No, he's not. And it was just a very emphatic. And I was like, okay, I don't think anybody's really saying that.
I've not seen anybody say that.
But if it happens, I will go pull that. And I'm just going to tweet it every day for the next calendar year.
God, that'd be awesome. I will say, and I actually don't think Trevin, I think he'll probably be like a second or third team All SEC guy if I had to guess. But the guys that dominate in college basketball are these overqualified older guys who basically should be playing professional basketball. And Trevin, we can agree, probably should be playing professional basketball at one point. Hell, there's an alternate universe where he only played 2 years of college basketball.
sure.
If he doesn't tear his ACL, he 1,000% would have left that year.
Yeah. Well, also, I know you know this, Curtis, but I don't follow the really weird stats. But I saw Hog Stats put out, which I thought was fun about. I guess it's Malik Ewan's the second oldest player to ever put on a uniform in Razorback basketball history, which I thought was pretty fascinating.
Who's the oldest?
Was that him or Pringle?
Or maybe it's Pringle. Maybe it's Pringle.
I think it's Pringle.
Okay, Pringle. Then.
Yeah. He's turning 24 or something.
Yep.
Who was the other one?
Any guesses?
It has to
Gene
be-
Tall-Silla.
I'll give you a hint. It's a Nolan Richardson player.
Oh.
I won't know then. I would have thought it'd be more
Like-
recent.
One of those, did Beck or somebody play an
Yeah,
extra
it's on
year?
that team. You're getting warmer.
Stewart.
No.
I don't know.
I'll just go ahead and tell you. It's Al Dillard.
I almost said Dillard. Damn.
Because Dillard, fun fact, at least this is the lore. Nolan Richardson went to go recruit another player out of Birmingham. And they were, one of those big gyms that have a bunch of courts and stuff. And he's, a bunch of games going back and forth. And he walks over because he kept hearing this stuff about this one player. He was a JUCO player at the local junior college there. And there was this guy just hitting threes from nearly half court, like 40 in a row, just nonstop. And then Nolan's like, want to play for me? He's like, yeah. He was bagging groceries at a grocery store. And he's like, all right, I'll come play for you, coach. And he was 25. So anyways.
That makes sense.
yeah.
I was automatically thinking, okay, well, we don't have the transfer portal stuff. And we don't have all the red shirts, and they don't give the JUCO years back then. So I thought it would be somebody more recent. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo MF Pigs, appreciate Super Chase. What ends first, YouTube TV or government shutdown? I already made that joke, Woo MF Pig, so it doesn't count.
It's a good. I don't know what the odds are,
no.
but goodness gracious, man.
I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it all.
Is this the longest government shutdown or something like that?
I think it's flirting with it at least.
I thought you were talking about the YouTube TV.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely the longest of that. I don't know.
I think
it's getting thing.
Yeah, I think it is. But again, who knows these days for any of that. We'll have our heavy hitters as well as a recruiting update with Dudley Dawson here in just a bit. Stop. 94 Hogs comes in. How are we going to react when Cal steps down, hands the team to Brad? Stop.
It's either that or Kenny Payne. Take your pick.
Hey, come on. I'd rather Brad. I literally would
associate
rather Brad.
head coach or the son.
I'm literally. I'd go with Brad because at least Brad would have a great staff.
I'm just telling you, Cal. No.
Please don't.
Please don't.
And we love Brad.
If he wins a ring, if Cal cuts down the nets,
okay,
and then
sure. Deal.
Do that?
Deal.
Sure.
Okay.
We tape on this. All right.
If Cal wins a ring, we will sit through a Brad
Yes.
Calipari tenure and we will shut up.
I feel like you know what, that should be
Listen.
That should be the rule across college sports. If you win a championship and you want your son to be the next head coach,
How long
you
was Mike Martin Jr. at Florida State? I'm looking it up now, but I swear they did that where they gave it to him just because they were like, oh yeah, of course, we'll give him a run, and then they fired him after 2 or 3 years and got a real coach, and they've been better for it.
Yep.
Yeah, he coached him. He finished the year during 2020, and then 2021, 2022, and they made the tournament both years, and then fired him. They were just like, this dude just mid. No, we don't really want to do this. I think that's what Auburn's about to do with Stephen Pearl.
Do you want?
I think he'll coach there for 2 years, and they won't be bad. They won't fire him because of bad performance, but they're just going to be like, okay, enough's enough.
Yeah. Do you want to? I'm going to start some controversy here. Do you think would Brad Calipari make for a better head coach than Michael Musselman? You think he's going to be a better head coach?
I think I'm not even joking. I think Brad would be a better head
I think
coach.
so too. Yeah.
Hey, listen, they both will be fine coaches, I'm sure, at some point in time. But
Brad
totally.
is young, but he does grind, man.
No, yeah,
Like,
he
was
works.
he was on that Stackhouse staff at Vanderbilt, and did a lot of work with those guys. Before every game, before he goes and gets that turtleneck on, he is out there working with those dudes, form, shooting, jumpers, and it's like very, very meticulous and detail oriented. So I have no idea about his like his X's and O's and everything. Sometimes you just don't know until you know, but he does grind out
One
there.
thing I'll also say is Brad also is a pretty good player. Like, I know he didn't play like high level. I mean, I'm not saying he was an SEC like legitimate starter, but like
he did it.
He could actually play in the SEC. Like, if he had left Kentucky and went somewhere else, he could have played 12 minutes off the bench somewhere. And also, he is a legit player development. Like, I think he at least wants to do something like that.
Mhm.
Not to say that Michael doesn't, but it's like, I don't have an example off the top of my head of Michael Musselman doing anything like that.
Well, let's say for Brad too. I feel like Brad would have definitely the better connections everywhere.
Oh, his staff would be loaded, dude.
Oh yeah, he would be. He'd have connections. He'd have recruiting. He'd be sitting in the box at the Yankees too.
Chris Maltasanti action. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I could see it.
Chris could have took over one day. I mean, come on.
Yeah, could have happened. A little bit different of scenario, but could have happened too. Jeez, man, that was. Now I'm never going to get that outside of my mind.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Addison says, could we have a midnight or March Dadness tournament where all the teams are coached by the coaches' kids?
Yeah,
would be kind of cool.
That could be one of the things Cal's talking about doing in the summer. We got to play basketball. We'll do it, and we'll let our kids coach the team. Arkansas and Houston meet at a neutral floor, and it's Kelvin Sampson's kid versus Brad Calipari.
I think Brad, low key, when he takes over, and now I'm already talked into this. I think he should get. I think he should get Michael Musselman on staff, and I think he should get Mike Anderson Jr. on staff.
Okay.
Stall.
And Coach Z.
Yeah.
I think we're on to something here.
Come let us know whenever you want to put together the staff. We'll have the dream team of Razorback.
Brewer too. He's also a famous son. So
we can make it work. And then someone said Petrino's son too.
Stephen Pearl. Yeah, Stephen Pearl will be out of a job by then. Yeah, he can be the fourth guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Quinn just started twitching.
Let's see. Like I said, every time we mention Quinn, he's going to come flying in and get mad. Quinn, it's okay, man. You're undefeated. Don't get mad.
Quinn has moved on from that Bethune-Cookman game, and he's back on Auburn coaching search now.
Yeah, who's he won? Who's he saying?
Dillingham.
Yeah, he likes Dillingham.
Yeah.
We're just looking out for your best Quintrists.
It is a Quinn's day here on the show.
Look, we got to stop this, guys. Like, we got to stop. Like, this is we're getting out of control here with our puns.
Man.
Let's go ahead and get into our heavy hitters presented by our friends over at HD Roofing and Construction, because we know storms can hit anytime. You never know when it's going to happen here in the state of Arkansas, and you want to make sure that your roof is good to go. Like, we're here at Blue Ember, and I'm looking at their roof. I'm like, hey, it looks in pretty good shape. But you may be looking at the same thing for your roof. You'd be like, oh, yeah, it looks pretty good shape. Get it checked out to make sure. You never know. And let the professionals do it with HD Roofing and Construction. They'll give you a free inspection, which, of course, is going to be free regardless of the outcome. They may say, hey, your roof is in great shape. Nothing's needed at all. Still free. Or they may be like, you need to replace this roof right now or your house is going to cave in. It's still going to be a free inspection. So be sure to give them a call today if you're in the Central Arkansas area, 501-428-0429. That's 501-428-0429. You can also call them if you're in the Northwest Arkansas area at 479-957-1928. It's 479-957-1928. You can also check out hdarkansas.com. It's HD Roofing and Construction as part of our heavy hitters here on Inside Arkansas. So, again, we're on Blue Ember. Was something said that...
Rod just made me laugh.
Rod?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if that was... Okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. That's
Steven Kaisacker did, and then Rod did in the chat. I was laughing that entire ad read.
Yeah. Well, it's just... you get, like, the chat can be one way, but it can also be pretty humorous in the other. That's for sure. All right. So as far as the heavy hitters go, it's that time of year right now too, where you still got football every night. It's still that, but then you have basketball going. I know the NBA is going strong there as well. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to give out my heavy hitter, and it's going to be like a life of heavy hitter. Dave England. Shout out to Dave
Yeah.
England. It's really sad to hear about the passing of former Razorback team doctor, Dave England. He was around the program for so many years, and he had retired a few years ago, but he transcended even coaching staffs. He was the team doctor there with Nolan Richardson. In fact, if you go back and watch the highlights of the 1994 national championship game, right before the free throws are going to get taken, that's sealed the deal. You see Dave having to get the blood off of Corey Beck's arm. Again, that's why he couldn't take the free throw. And you see Dave having to do that. But he also stayed on when Stan Heath was here, and even John Pelfrey and everything. And it was just really sad. I know that he was up there in years and had a medical issue, but seeing that his passing was really sad. But he was a guy that loved Razorback basketball. He was synonymous with Razorback basketball, and I just want to give a shout out to him. He is my lifetime of a heavy hitter, former Razorback team doctor, Dave England.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I'm glad you brought that up. It was sad to hear that, but yeah, we already kind of talked about it. My heavy hitter, it's going to be Kelsey Music and the Lady Razorbacks getting that win in their opener. That could have gone south on them in a hurry. They got down, double digits right out of the gates, and I was kind of thinking, gosh, man, like been excited about this hire. I think they're going to play an exciting brand of basketball, but it's probably going to take a little bit of time to build. You don't want to lose to, Louisiana Tech. I know they've had some good women's basketball teams in the past, but you don't want to get your doors blown off like that in your debut. You know what I mean? So for them to come back and win the way that they did was really cool. And so happy for Coach there. And I thought it was pretty neat, all the different videos and everything they put out there. You mentioned Cal calling her, right? And then there were different players who were, it's like, congratulate, we're happy, and yeah, let's go, Coach. And that's all cool. I like all that. Yes, I saw the $100 check video as well. That happened, but good on the ladies for getting a dub there in their first game.
I thought for sure you were about to throw a shot at the Lady Texters who have won a national championship.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Kim Mulkey led them to a national championship. Did you know that, John?
No, I didn't. Who is it?
Kim Mulkey led the Louisiana Tech Lady Texters to the national championship, and they won it.
I guess
when they were really good at basketball, I used to go to Jonesboro, my grandparents, and they would take me to Arkansas State versus Louisiana Tech women's basketball games, and they were balling. They were good.
Yeah. And they, for whatever reason, they are not the Lady Bulldogs. They're the Lady Texters. That's their team name for whatever reason. But yeah, I did enjoy seeing the women's basketball team win. I'm going to be a huge fan all year, man. Can't wait to watch them. My two heavy hitters are both former Razorbacks who had a very good night last association. Moses Moody had his best game of the year, dropped 24 on 7 of 11 for the Warriors. I think he hit 5 threes or something like that. And they won by 1, and he played 33 minutes and was a plus 15. I feel like that's solid. That's solid work from a role player to basically win the game for his team, beat Scotty's Suns. And Isaiah Joe had a big night last night. What did he finish with in this game? Isaiah Joe finished with 22. He's only played in 3 games this year. I think he was banged up a little bit. He's played in 3 games, and he is averaging 18 points a game so far. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to keep that up, but like shooting the absolute piss out of the basketball right now. Love those two former Razorbacks doing some cool stuff in the pros. And I'm going to keep shouting these guys out pretty much every night. And we haven't even gotten to the point where I can use the Cal guys. Like I could read you, Cat stat line. I could read you all this. Just of the actual people that played basketball at Arkansas, there's someone pops off every single night, it seems like.
Yep. No, that's a great one too. A few other ones. Quick shout out to our heavy hitters for our interns showing up here and actually being locked in and doing work. That's good stuff for them. And also shout out to Blue Ember for having us here too. I can't wait to eat afterwards. It's one of those deals to where I'm starving over here, but that's okay because it's like it's not that bad when you're at home, but when you're here at a restaurant, you keep smelling it. It's like all right, we gotta get through this. We gotta find a way to make it work. But all right, so getting back to your chats, I wanted to bring stuff from Arkansas, who has a super chat. He does his week 11 power ratings.
Let's look at this.
1 Bama, 2 Georgia, 3 A&M, 4 Ole Miss, 5 Vandy, 6 Tennessee, 7 Texas, 8 Oklahoma, 9 LSU, 10 Georgia. Is he saying 10? Yeah, or no? UG? Who's that supposed to be? Come on, man.
Hold on, wait. Where are you seeing a G?
Number 10.
Oh, can't be Georgia.
No, it's not because he had them at number 3 or number 2. So we'll come back to that and we'll figure out by that direction. Number 11, Auburn. Number 12, Missouri. Number 13, Mississippi State. Number 14, South Carolina. Number 15, Kentucky. And number 16, Arkansas.
OU.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
And then Vandy's still up and Texas is getting better.
Well, they're at 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait,
Oh, wait,
yeah,
yeah,
so hold on. So then who's it?
Yeah,
What? But let's use process
Logical
of elimination.
deduction, yeah.
Who is this?
yeah. Who is it? It's not
Why are we doing this?
I don't know. I don't know what the
I don't
UG
know.
is.
Who is that? Florida, maybe?
Florida.
Florida.
Florida's the
UF.
team missing.
There we go.
UF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Florida's probably better than
I think he's
Auburn.
getting ready to send the update.
Yeah.
If I'm looking on the
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Good
We're all
grief.
good.
Yeah.
Well, you got
Um,
16 right, so
You do have 16 right. I'd say you also have 15 right. Can definitively say that. I think 13 and 14, I don't have any qualms. Missouri at 12, I feel like is
kind of low.
accurate.
I would definitely have him above Auburn.
Yeah.
Didn't they beat Auburn?
They beat
Although
Auburn.
they did cheat to beat them. They did beat them.
Mhm.
I personally I would be quite a bit higher. I think on OU. Now I know they lost to Texas, but they did just win at Tennessee. It's like I might flip flop them. I don't have any qualms
I would-
at all with the top.
Are we
part
sure?
of
Are
that.
we sure? So Texas and Vandy both have 2 losses, and Texas just beat them. Now they only ended up beating them by like 3. But do you feel like Texas maybe could be over
I
Vandy?
still feel like Vandy might have the better wins.
Probably, like resume
Because
wise.
see, they beat Missouri and LSU. Who is Texas beating Vandy? Well, hell, that might actually be the best win of.
They beat
of either
OU.
team.
They beat OU.
OU.
Yeah, they did. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's
I mean, it's
Interesting.
Listen, it is interesting. It's good, but you just with the UG man, you screwed it up.
I gotta
You
be honest.
screwed
You
it
know who actually might not be that good? The Georgia Bulldogs. They win every week, but they win ugly every week. And now I think they only have 1 loss, right? It's just a Bama game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I feel like Georgia, and I know obviously they need to be in the top. I mean, the worst they could be is like 3rd or 4th in
Yeah.
the SEC. But it's like I haven't been impressed by Georgia like all year. Weirdly enough,
who did they just beat?
they just beat somebody by like
Florida.
they beat
Yeah, it
Florida
was
by
Florida in
like
that
3
close
or
game.
something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know who's good in college
Who
football.
plays this week? Bama LSU. I know.
Which is not going to have nearly as much buzz as it probably should have been.
Or
like
is
both
that
the
or is that
games.
next week? Are they on a bye?
No, I think it's this week because doesn't.
Yeah, because Arkansas gets LSU
That's
after
right.
Bama.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you got Georgia's at Mississippi State. You know, well, I bet Georgia wins by 3
Yeah.
in an ugly game there. Ole Miss is playing the Citadel. Got to watch out for that one.
Ew.
A&M is going to Como.
That's a big one.
Could Drink
Interesting.
get them? That's maybe some
Because
some
if-
Not
chaos
with that
waiting to
true
happen.
freshman quarterback.
Because if
you
Missouri loses another one, they're out of the playoffs. And
Yeah,
A&M,
sticks 'em 3.
yeah, their A&M's wanting to like,
A&M could pretty much clinch a
clinch
playoff
it. Yeah,
spot.
pretty much.
You've got Auburn going to Vandy. Vandy's only favored by 6.5.
Huh.
A lot of respect for DJ Durkin's defense.
You're gonna get the bump, I guess.
I bet my life savings on Vandy. You got Kentucky hosting Florida in the game that no one's going to watch, and then you got
Ew.
LSU at Bama. So fun Saturday of Arkansas, Michigan State's going to be the only thing I care about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Like, I guess you got just as we all look forward to the big game, BYU and Texas Tech. It is a top 10 game.
That is, and that's a Big 12. That's basically the Big 12 title right there.
Mm.
BYU versus Texas Tech.
You got Oregon and Iowa. Gross. That's also a top 25 matchup, and that's
Iowa's
pretty much
scoring
it.
now. So
Is it going to work out where Ohio State and Indiana are 12-0, 12-0, and play in the Big 10 title game, and it doesn't matter at all?
probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if they played in the regular season last year. I don't know if they do this year or not.
I could be wrong. I feel like I remember seeing that Indiana doesn't play anybody, but maybe they do. I have no idea how the Big 10's scheduling works.
I'm getting ready to look at Indiana's football schedule and see what they have left.
Ooh,
Yeah, I pulled it up, but
Penn State,
yeah, on the road.
they got
Yeah,
3 dubs left.
home
is what
against
they got.
Wisconsin, and then are burying the boys going to ruin the perfect season?
No, they're not.
They're not. That's-
Yeah, I mean, I think. So like Indiana's like pretty much they can rest their starters damn near.
Or they might get the 1 seed in the.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All you got to do is beat Ohio State.
I think them and Ohio State should low key both just be like, hey, we're not playing this game.
Yeah.
we're just not playing.
We're
Double
good.
forfeit. We'll play them in the title game if we see them.
It is crazy though. Like, and I'm not hating, just saying. Indiana, they don't play Ohio State, Michigan, or Oregon. Or no, they played Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, or Iowa, who are the top teams there. But
Yeah,
it's just
and
gonna
I
be,
feel like Indiana that happens to them a lot.
yeah. And also, remember when Indiana, the COVID season, when they were like on that run, and everyone
Yeah.
thought that, and then it still pisses me off.
Michael Penix was their quarterback.
Yeah,
back then.
because Ohio State, they couldn't play so many games, and then they changed the rules in the Big Ten. They're like, because it was before it was supposed to be
Yes.
like, you have to play at least 6 games to be considered in the title game. When Ohio State didn't, they're like, well, you can play 6 games.
Ohio State was like 4-0 playing.
Yes.
National title.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, it's such.
To be fair,
crap.
that was a complete like.
Yeah,
crapshoot.
but still, I was like, that's why you don't make the rule to begin with. Like that was just dumb. So
I have a confession to make. I have not even looked at the CFP rankings that came out last night.
I saw them, but I don't remember them. I just know A&M's 3. You know, they're the top SEC team. Who was it that was 4 there?
Bama. So you got Ohio
Bama,
State,
Georgia,
Indiana. Oh, jeez. Texas A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame.
I mean, dude, like I'm just looking at
Notre
these top
Dame.
12 teams. I mean, look at how many of these top 12 teams would. I mean, obviously Arkansas sucks, so it's like you can't even think about this actual Arkansas team. But like, just think about like a 7-6 Sam Pittman team. They could be competitive with this Oklahoma team, who is number 12.
Mm-hmm.
They could be competitive with Texas, who's number 11. I mean, hell, they might do it next
They were
week.
competitive with A&M.
They were competitive
And
with
Ole
A&M
Miss.
and Ole Miss.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
BYU, Texas Tech.
I have no doubt that Arkansas would love to lose to Ohio State by 3.
Oh, yeah.
Like they would just love that.
Georgia would put together the cleanest 24-20 win over the Razorbacks you've ever seen.
It's just so stupid, man. So dumb. I hate football.
And like I didn't have a point to that. All I'm saying is like I just look at these rankings and I'm like, dude, it's crazy that people have such definitive feelings of like, what's your ceiling as a program? You could never make the playoff. I'm like, dude, freaking anyone can make the playoff.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna
Kalani Sitake's gonna rattle off 3 playoff appearances at BYU.
Yeah. I mean, because if you look at it to where if it ended today, you're going to have teams like Indiana, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and BYU and Texas Tech. You're telling me that all those programs are just far and away better than what you could be at Arkansas? No.
Is the ACC a real conference? Because I'm sitting here looking at Virginia at 7-1,
8-1.
who like their head coach is that Tony Elliott, who like
why are we talking about him?
Wasn't even good at Clemson. I remember when he got the Virginia job, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. It's just Virginia's like of all sports, Virginia is the worst boring like school of all time. I think if we did the power rankings of the most boring FBS schools and as an athletic department, Virginia might be my number 1 as the most boring, but they still like randomly will have success
like,
somewhere else.
Even when they're good, they're boring though. Because even when they're good in basketball, that's like an ugly style. Their baseball teams are usually like pitching and defense.
Not anymore.
Not
it's
anymore.
Brian O'Connor, yeah. And then football, it's always like Bronco.
How much Virginia football have you guys watched?
0 this year.
I'm a connoisseur.
I used to watch them back whenever they had Bryce Purdy. They made the ACC title game back in like 2017, 18.
Yeah.
I remember being like big into them that year. But no, I haven't gambled on Virginia, so I have not watched them at all.
Well, you know who their quarterback is?
Chandler Morris, right? Yeah. I think I did
another
watch
one
him
that's
week
like
1 or something like that.
Yeah, he's another one of those games you could play back. He's still playing like that guy. Yeah, because
he's been around the block because he was at OU. Well, he's committed to Arkansas, goes to OU, North Texas, TCU, and now Virginia.
Like a man with warrants, how he lives, going to those places like back to back to back. Like, yeah, that's wild.
You think Pops is still flying around to see him play?
In the hog chopper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up, remember when he rappelled into the church or whatever?
Oh, I completely forgot about
You
that.
guys remember that with Chad
I
Moore?
completely forgot about that.
He did it twice.
Dude, I just awoke in a memory that I forgot I had. Dang.
We did it twice. He did it once over here at Cross Church, and then he did it in Little Rock. And then everyone was like, look at this. And then come to find out, it wasn't even him. It was just dark, and we all should have known. We all should have known.
Remember that video of him dancing to that song? That 50 Cent song?
Was it the one where he did the hands over? Yeah, it's just
classic.
Can't believe he didn't work out. By the way, I want to bring this up chat real quick. Student section says, guys, I'm at the table across from you right now.
He's lying. I don't know.
I don't know. There was a guy that was looking over here that was over there, but he left already. So I guess we didn't get to the chat quick enough.
Yeah, you can't trust a word.
I was about to say, if it was that or if it was ended up being my friend over there, Lexi, I'm going to be like, you're the student section pod? It's like, so that would have been really weird. Well, hey, we missed you, man. If you were actually here or if you're being creepy.
If he is telling the truth, then I know who it was, too.
Okay.
I saw the guy on his phone that was looking over.
All right. Well, sorry we didn't get to say what's up to you, but had some fish to fry that we had to get to as well. So, but yes, we're here at Blue Ember, and we'll get to your chats here as well. Did I miss something?
Yeah, no, he just said, I'm not even near that place right now.
I hate you. You're back.
I was like, my instinct is to just not trust him. But
all right. Like, you know what? I'm putting you in timeout. You're getting in timeout for that.
I absolutely love that. Yeah, we had some fish to fry. So
yeah, we had some stuff we had to get to, the important stuff, like talking about Indiana football and all that. That's the important stuff we had to get to. But we will get to all your chats, folks. But we are going to do a recruiting update with our guy, Dudley Dawson. And don't forget, it is presented by our friends over at Goat Lab Red and Goat Lab Brewery here in Lowell. We know that a lot of you are going to be looking for a great place to watch the Razorback basketball game against Michigan State, since it is a bye week. Well, guess what? Goat Lab Red is going to be open, and they are going to have it all going down with their big TVs, have the game on there with all their great brews, signature burgers, all that great stuff. And it's conveniently located there close to campus at 1214 North Garland Avenue. And you can always check them out, not only for dinner, but for lunch, too. Each and every day, you're going to see our faces on their TVs there as they play Inside Arkansas Live each and every day on their live stream. It's an awesome spot. Couches that are comfortable, great food. They do the progressive wing deals. They have signature burgers, and don't forget the beers, the brews, as they say, Razorback, Tusk, and Tusk Light. It is with our friends at Goat Lab Red. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hear from our guy, Dudley Dawson, on today's Inside Arkansas Recruiting Update presented by Goat Lab Red.
Welcome into this Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast Update. I'm your host, Dudley Dawson. We're sponsored by Goat Lab Brewery. Couple updates on the commitment list. Quincy, Florida, Gadsden County linebacker safety Dalen Green has officially flipped from Arkansas to Florida State this week. He visited nearby Florida State on Saturday. They roughed up Wake Forest to end a 4-game losing streak, all in conference play, and he decided to go ahead and flip his commit to Florida State, the Seminoles, where Mike Norvell, the former UCA player, is now the head coach, and the offensive coordinator is Gus Malzahn. Also, Arkansas's Daquan Parvo, who has been committed for quite a while now, the Bentonville wide receiver, along with Blair Irvin III, Trey as they call him, have both been Arkansas commits. He confirmed to me last night that he has officially opened up his recruiting. So you're looking at, his situation as he visited SMU earlier. Lastly, just got an extension. So I'm sure he's going to see what he can do about, getting the best situation for him. Interestingly enough, the Gadsden County young man, his trip to Florida State's about like Bentonville to Fayetteville. Also, that puts them really, to me, down to 11 commitments in this class. Maumell's Jordan Harris, who's defensive end, has been visiting a couple of schools and still in Ole Miss. And so, we'll see how that plays itself out. But I'm really counting it as 11 is firmly committed. Also, that puts them, firmly interested 16th in the rankings in the 16-team SEC league. They are 63rd overall in On3 and 77th overall in 247. We'll keep you up to date on all recruiting things going on. Again, thank you for sponsorship of Goat Lab Brewery.
Yeesh. It's like we're holding them hostage to have to do
that. Poor Dudley, man. He's sitting there, he's like, they're 16th in the SEC. There are 16 teams. So, but hey, that's what's going to happen when you don't have a coach. And I think that'll change. Whoever they end up, I just hope. Here's my hope, guys, is whoever they end up hiring. Hopefully that it does go up. Hopefully they don't end up being still, even after the new coach and signing day happens, 16th and 63rd. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
The high school class is going to be, it's probably going to be way down there.
Yeah,
but
just don't be last.
Right, go get a bunch of mercenaries out of the portal for 1 year and then figure it out.
Yeah, in fact, I'm not going to say that because that's going to be mean to any of the kids that are if I was the coach, I'd walk in back. How many guys we have committed? We have 11. All right, cool. We're just going to go for the portal for everyone else. I'm not even going to go to the high school.
The good thing is Penn State currently has the 28th class in the country. Maybe James Franklin can pluck a few of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's because a lot of guys decommitted after he got fired. Yeah. But hey, I don't know where those guys ended up. We'll find. Maybe we could do a little look-see. Minnesota, by the way, 29th. Minnesota actually is above Indiana in the current class rankings. They are 29th. Indiana is 30th.
24 stars they have, Minnesota.
5?
Par for the course. He's right in the Arkansas.
Sounds like a hog already.
That's a classic Arkansas. 29th with five 4-stars. That is a vintage Burt class.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, man. Well, and recruiting will pick up hopefully here once the coach gets hired.
We appreciate you, Dudley. Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
He said 11 commits. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Again, we're live here at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Rogers. Appreciate them having us out here. Appreciate everybody rolling in and having some fun with us here today. Again, first Wednesday of every month, we will be here here at the Blue Ember location in Rogers. But they have a bunch of other locations across the state of Arkansas. So if you're wanting any of those great deals, be sure to check them out when it comes to feeding your fam for the holiday season. They got locations in Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Texarkana, Little Rock, Hot Springs, and in Rogers. And you can see the phone numbers right there on the screen. So if you're in those areas and you're looking to get some food, you're looking to have not only their catered, but also for a great place to go and eat food, great barbecue, go to Blue Ember Smokehouse. At any of those locations, you can call them today to get those orders in as well. But yeah, so a few more chats here before we roll out. Was there another did I miss on?
Oh, I just here it is.
Those
Jay said Dudley's new segment would just be him in a cloak opening up his pantry and yelling, "The cupboard is bare."
All right, Dudley, you heard it. That'll be a great bit. I think that'd be a great one. Jeez. We love Dudley. He's got shout out to Dudley though. Tomorrow he's having knee surgery, so hopefully
that's right.
Goes well on him. So yeah, he's again. I don't know. I've never had knee surgery, nor do I want to have knee surgery. But I feel like having a good knee is important when it comes to living and doing things.
He
So,
told us
You
the other
need it.
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
stop.
He told us the other day they had already filled his prescription for meds. So he's like, I know it's going to be something if they're already giving me my prescription. So
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, hang in there,
is he
Dudley.
getting a new knee, or did he like tear his ACL out there on the turf?
I think it's knee replacement.
Okay.
Yeah. He was out there running too many gassers out there on the field, and just ended up having one there. Let's see. I feel like I missed a super chat, and if I did, I'm sorry, and because somebody was yelling about it. But I'm looking at it, I was like, I think we got it out here too.
Well, while you look for it,
Yeah,
I
go
will
ahead.
I will pull this up here. The student section is back. He says, "Okay, now that I've had time to reflect on my actions and timeout, I want to apologize for lying to John.
Yeah.
So
well,
all is forgiven."
yep. Apology accepted. Apology accepted. Just because that's the thing is, listen, we love jokes, but don't be joking when you're saying you're next to us and you're not. That's the one thing that's get you a quick timeout is if you say that you're close by to us and then you're not. I don't tolerate that.
What
type
if
of
we
behavior.
said hi to some rando? Look
Yeah,
like
we would've-
idiots,
Yeah, we would have went over and gave that guy an autograph, and he would have looked at us like we were idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's just like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that stuff. So it's apology accepted. Your lesson learned. So let's see. So yeah, Jay McCoy says, I don't remember you reading my super chat. Well, we just have so many. It's hard to really keep up with it, but trying to find it, man.
If I got up and walked over to someone that we thought was here to see us, they would just hand me their tray. Like, oh
True,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
done. You
they-
can take it.
they're blue.
You are wearing blue
Yeah.
gear.
Yeah, that would be the case. Let's see.
Is he maybe?
Are you getting duped?
Is this?
I think
is this
so.
maybe his? He says, not sure if this has been talked about, but did y'all notice at the last home basketball game?
Oh, yes.
Fans called the
Thank
Hogs
you.
once in the first half and 0 in the second half. I thought that was interesting. I noticed that there were 0 hog calls. Because I remember when we did the one in the first half, I was like, oh, I forgot we do this. Because there's never like specific times. I guess did Southern just not call timeouts? Because usually that's what happens.
They did.
They did in the last 8 minutes of the game because that's why we were
Yeah, sure did.
running behind to get back for the show. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, they did call the Hogs a couple of times. That is the one thing that I feel like whoever's involved with the game day atmosphere still can't fight too much is that, hey, because it's like there's no flow to it where hey, if the other team calls a timeout, you call the Hogs. It's like a very instant thing. It's not like looking around, what do we do here? But I know they did a call for that. But I'm going to here's a little teaser for you. I'm going to the great written word on our website, InsideArkansas.com. I'm putting out some parters. I don't know. What do you guys are journalists. A part series, a series of stories.
Let's just go with parters. That's
Parters.
fine.
Okay. I got a few parters I'm going to take out of just some random things that I want to see fixed and game day atmospheres. And so, and that's going to be one of them is with the hog call. So be on the lookout for that. I'm sure it'll be really well written. And I am writing it myself. No chat GPT. So it's going to be a disaster of like grammar problems, I'm sure. So, but just you'll understand what I'm saying.
I feel like there were a couple hog call worthy moments.
Oh yeah.
Like did we have one after Acuff did his crazy spurt?
I think
the
that
first
might have
half?
been the
It might have been
literal
the
one,
one,
because I think
yeah.
that's when they maybe called timeout. We also didn't get timeout.
Yeah.
John
Didn't get
George
it.
wasn't there.
I know he wasn't there, but I'm
Yeah.
like, you still got to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's taking away precious time from doing the fry toss and stuff. Like you can't be having that. Listen, I'm not hating on anybody that is a part of the deal because I know, John Williams, I know Jason Sewell. Those guys they're just doing their jobs. But You know, it's just so uncomfortable, man. I know we talked about it all yesterday, but it's just so uncomfortable being in those games of like something happens, and everyone's kind of looking around like, all right, so what do we do here? What do we do? As long as the Bud Walton atmosphere is not dead. What's the first big home game?
Louisville.
Yeah.
And that's what date?
December 3rd.
Okay. So less than a month away. There's your chance, Hog fans. If y'all don't show up to that one and it's like a good, it's dead forever. I'm going to go and make that claim. If Arkansas's undefeated or something like that going into that game, and
they'd be coming off a Duke win, by the way.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
And that place doesn't have 20,000 people in there.
Weekend too, right? Like Friday or Saturday?
December 3rd. I think that's a Saturday.
No, it's like a Tuesday.
Oh, really?
I think they do those on Tuesday, Wednesday.
So it's like 10 days after or no, it's like the Tuesday after the Duke game. Like right after the Duke game.
It's Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Because Duke's on Thanksgiving Day, and then
like 3 days later you pull up.
Hey, fun fact, actually, that's going to be the same day we're here live at Blue Ember again next month.
So, oh, hell yeah.
So there you go.
Well, dude, I remember Mike Anderson's teams one year. They played Minnesota at home during the month of like December.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen at Bud Walton.
The Michigan?
The Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota Star,
They did a random home and home with them, and they packed it out. That was one of the first times I can remember them doing Sharkensaw. Not our guy doing the bit. But I just remember that. And so if people come in after that Louisville game and they're like, oh, well, it's December. I'd be like, dude, a decade ago with a 17 and 15 team, y'all packed it out. So it's like clearly something's off.
That's why
it's a 6 p.m. tip on a church Wednesday. It's
oh yeah.
I was hoping that we could have like no excuses, so we could just finally be like,
oh, there's gonna be excuses.
Like if it was a Saturday and like 4 p.m.
There are always reasons to not watch Arkansas basketball.
But maybe I'll wind up in hell. But Bud Walton Arena is my church.
Exactly.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's called I was gonna say the church at the palace, but that wouldn't make much sense.
If you're skipping it for church, keep that to yourself, low key.
Yeah.
Don't push your lifestyle on us. You know.
That's all we need. Also, like for that too, the point is like I'll just officially claim the spirit of Bud Walton dead if that's the case. If that scenario plays out where they're undefeated, I'm calling it because it's like if that's not going to get it going, it's dead.
They will literally, if they beat Duke, if they beat Michigan State and beat Duke, they will literally be like number 2 or 3 in the country,
and
maybe number 1 depending on how badly they beat Duke, or depending on what Duke does between now and then. I mean, Duke, where are they ranked right now? 5.
5, 6, something like that.
So yeah, Duke, if they just don't do anything stupid, they'll probably be 2 or 3. If Arkansas beats Duke, we got to have some fans. People have to attend the basketball game after they beat Duke. I'll say it.
Yeah,
I know that's a hot take, but
yeah. And do we know the ratio in Bud Walton Arena from lower bowl to upper?
I think it's 13,000 to whatever the rest is in the math. 6,500
or 13 lower bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that what you're just saying? Like you? Yeah.
Well, no, hell no. I expect it to be full for that. Just saw a lot of people saying there were 13 to 15,000 people at Bud.
Absolutely not.
There just weren't, man.
Like
the lower bowl was half full.
They didn't have. They couldn't have filled up. Even if they had done the thing where they said everybody in the upper deck come to the lower bowl. Even then, they wouldn't have filled up the lower bowl.
Right. Yeah.
Also, on top of that, too, Louisville right now, I know they're ranked 11th, but they'll probably be ranked when you play them. So it's not even like, it's just a name opponent. It's like, no, it's a name opponent that will be good and be ranked in the top 25.
They'll be up there.
So just show up to games. I don't care who's in charge. Just do it. Let's see. Also, 94 Hog says preaching at the palace of John Calipari. I'd attend that church.
Yeah, man. I mean, why not?
Yeah, he does. He does.
He looks the part.
I would say he gives some reverend vibes there. That's the case. I'm not going to read that guy's name, but he just wanted to know if the soccer team won.
No.
Okay.
They did not.
Yeah.
That's.
Wait a minute. Is this the SEC tournament?
Yeah.
And they lost?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Wasn't in the finals though. It was like the quarters.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they lost to I think Mississippi State. So now they wait until next week for the bracket reveal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, I bet that. I mean, I know we're joking about atmospheres. I do bet that home field atmosphere for the tournament will be pretty.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's just would be nice to win far into that.
They'll win at least a couple of those.
Maybe baseball finally sweeping the regional and supers is kind of because there was like a curse. It felt like where Arkansas in all sports, if they hosted like postseason like home games, would just lose. Like softball was doing it for a bit.
You think the 2025 team broke everything?
I'm hoping. I'm just hoping. Like Not saying it will, but it'd be nice.
At least the
if
home field thing,
Right, yeah, the home field thing.
It is nice. If you're going to have a historically horrible way to lose your season, you might as well do it not at home.
Right,
You
don't
know?
do it in front of the fans.
That's a lot better. It's a lot easier to stomach.
Yeah. Oh, geez, it's brutal. Well, guys, any final thoughts? Again, it's been great being here at Blue Ember and hanging out, but any final thoughts before we roll out here for the day?
Yeah, my final thought, by the way, we appreciate the merch. We're wearing it, and we also got some cool Blue Ember sweatshirts that were given to us. We were given the option of red or blue, and I was like, well, why would you do a red sweatshirt that says Blue Ember on it? But I have now seen it from some people working in here. Yeah, it looks good.
I'm excited to wear my sweater.
Yeah, me too. That's basically my final thought. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm appreciative, and I'm about to grub out.
Yeah, my final thought is to let us get out of here and eat some barbecue. But I would also say tune in to the Bombastic Podcast today. We're going to be talking about a subject. Y'all ready for this? A little teaser. The subject today is Nate Thompson might be good at his job.
Wow. Why are you doing this, man? It's going to get you're going to cause controversy. People are going to be
I got to call
yelling.
Balls and strikes, man.
Yeah,
guy throws it right over the plate. I got to call it a strike. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
I can't wait for Arkansas to struggle with hitting again this year, and everyone's going to be just winning. I guess update. Yeah.
The first 5 innings against DBU did that. Literally, people were like,
yeah, they're just immediately going to be.
So you're not going to
upset.
talk about Dave being halfway out the door?
Yeah, we'll talk about we'll do Nate's recruiting update, and then we'll be like DVH's next stop.
Oh,
be
okay.
the
There you
second
go.
half, Yeah.
There you go. But no, yeah, we appreciate, of course, everything Blue Ember and having us out here. It's an awesome spot. If you've yet to be here, come on out. Not only just when we're here, but in general, at locations across the state of Arkansas. Again, we'll be here. I guess as we found out today, the Wednesday of the Louisville game. We'll be back here, so we'll be here for lunchtime. But maybe we'll talk to him about seeing maybe we. At some point, maybe not for this one, but maybe do like a pregame or a watch or something like that. We'll figure it out.
We could do some road games.
Yeah, for sure. But it's an awesome spot, great barbecue, great food that we can't wait to divulge into. And we appreciate those who have come to hang out with us here that were listeners of ours. Appreciate our interns for showing up and hanging out with us as well. And appreciate all of you watching and being very nice and sweet and great opinions today. But be sure to subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas on our YouTube page. You can also check out our audio podcast wherever podcasts are found. Whether it's Inside Arkansas Live Pod at the Palace, Bombastic Podcast, Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, all that great stuff. And we're going to keep it going from there. So that'll do it for us today. For Andrew Ellis, Curtis Wilkerson, intern Cameron, intern Gigi. I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.